Good morning and welcome to Valley Views. I'm your host, Glenn Edison. We're certainly glad to have you today. And as always, we want to thank BTC Fiber for hosting our program. And you can see this program on BTC Fiber's YouTube page as well as Cable Channel 18. And also we have a sponsor, Needful Things General Store, right on Highway 127, just across the Bizzell County line. So go by and see them. You might find something you need, and you might find something you don't need, but just won't. So go by and check them out. And today we have with us Laurie Bizzell, yeah, I got it right,
Yeah.
and from Littletail Farms out on Cagle Mountain.
Mm-hmm.
So Laurie, it's good to have you with us, and I appreciate you being with us.
Thanks for having me.
And I'm pretty excited about it because I got to looking at your website and all the things y'all offer, and we're going to talk about that because I want people to know about that.
Sure.
But first, let's get a little background on you and why y'all chose to settle out there, and
Okay.
and why y'all chose to do this.
Sure. So my husband's a sixth generation Chattanoogan, so we knew that we wanted to be somewhere around Chattanooga. He used to, in his youth, ride motorcycles and always loved coming through Dunlap and just thought Dunlap Valley was beautiful. We came to Cagle Mountain about 5 years ago, and the goal was to have a cow. I had gone to Ireland in my 20s and fell in love with cows, and we wanted a place to have a cow. So we came we found our property on Cagle Mountain. It was beautiful. It was perfect. My grandfather lives up on Dale Hollow Lake, and my parents live in East Brainerd, so Cagle Mountain's actually the halfway point.
Halfway point.
Yeah, which is nice. And so we moved out there and we started the farm.
And I'm sure that's 5 years ago. So that's,
Yes,
I'm sure y'all have had a lot of experiences out there.
we have. We are city folk, pretending to be farmers. Actually, not really pretending anymore, but we're working on learning all of the things that we need to know. We have a lot of fun, and I love to share the farm with people because I did not grow up that way, and so the word I always use is magical. I had never pet a cow. We had never even had an outside pet before we started the farm.
Really?
And so it just kind of grew, and it's been an enjoyable experience.
Well, and tell us a little bit about, I know you have more than cows out there.
We do.
So tell us a little bit about some of the animals you have out on your farm.
Yeah, so we started off with cows and goats. I thought goats would be a great way to start because if they did not make it, it was a smaller hole to dig.
Yeah.
Right? That's kind of how my brain worked. Anyway, so we started with some goats and some cows, 2 cows, 4 goats, and 2 donkeys. And then it just kind of grew. As our property grew and our business grew, we started adding more and more animals. So we have baby doll sheep, we have kuni pigs, we have alpacas, the donkeys, the cows, chickens. What else do we have? Just a plethora of animals. We typically have anywhere from 40 to 50 animals on the farm at a time.
Uh-huh.
We do have babies every year, which is great. And then we do have to thin out our herds on occasion to make room for more babies.
Yeah. And with the variety of animals you have,
Mm-hmm.
that's a variety of type of feeds.
Yes, it is. It is. So we try to shop locally as much as we can. So most of our feed comes from the Mennonites that are just a couple miles down the road, and also the local co-op.
Uh-huh.
We do buy some stuff at Tractor Supply, but most of it we try to source locally.
Well, and that's good. And excuse me, I'm sorry. Now you're just off. Tell everybody. I know you're on Cagle, but you're just off Benny Camp Road.
Yes, yeah. So you make where Benny Camp Road is, where 111 opens back up. You make a left on Benny Camp. You go down about a mile. There's a machine shop. We're just past the machine shop on a street. There's a blue sign called Leilani Lane. If you turn down that and go all the way to the back, you'll see I have an old Farmall tractor that's sitting there that was my Valentine's Day gift a couple of years ago, and then you'll see the sign for our farm.
Well, now on your farm, you you have a farm stay program.
We do. Mm-hmm.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, so just out of the blue, one day, we have a detached garage from our house, and it's got an apartment above it, and we did not know what to do with that space. And then just one day, our friends and family would come and visit, and they loved the farm. And one day I just looked at my husband and I said, we should put that on Airbnb. And we did. And I thought, nobody's going to come out here because it's so far out. There wasn't even cell phone signal. We do have cell phone signal now. And our first guest was from New Zealand.
Really?
Yeah. So we've hosted 11 different countries now.
Well.
Well over 2,000 families have been up to the farm, either to visit on a farm tour or to stay in our Airbnbs. So we have the 1-bedroom apartment over the garage, and then we expanded, I guess it's been about a year and a half ago, we had a tiny home built, and we have that on our property as well. So both of those you can rent through VRBO or Airbnb, or our website's actually the least expensive way. You don't pay the fees.
Right.
And so we've hosted, like I said, about 2,000 families up there now since we started.
Wow, that's neat, and a lot of those were just traveling through just to find a place to stay.
Yeah.
They weren't necessarily looking for your farm; they were
Right.
just looking for a place to stay.
Yeah, absolutely. And so now the farm is, we've got a website and social media, and so that presence is growing, and people are coming actually just to see the farm now, which is fun.
Yeah, I know. I heard about your farm before I found it on the before I looked at it on the website.
Mm-hmm.
I'd heard about it,
Mm-hmm.
and from people, and I thought, well, that sounds kind of neat. And then I started looking it up, and I thought, well, and when people would go to the website, I was excited because there's a lot of nice things on there.
Right.
Plus, you got some nice reviews too.
Yeah. Yeah.
And because I like to read reviews, you take them with a grain of salt sometimes,
Sure.
But when they're all positive and they
Right.
bring out different things.
Yeah. So we love, like I said, the farm to me is magical, and I love to share it. I think it is, we are just blessed to have it, and we love to share it. So we don't charge for children. We only charge for adults. And then we don't charge you to come back. Because I'd love to share the farm, and I think if you're going to come back to my farm, you love it as much as I do. Now you won't get the one-on-one attention if you come back.
Yeah.
I'll wave at you. I may come visit while you're there, but I'm not going to babysit you while you're there.
Right.
But we do offer farm tours on Saturdays, starting this March 18th through October.
Oh, okay.
You do need to have a ticket to come, and like I said, we don't charge for children. So.
Well, how do they get the ticket?
You can buy tickets on our website or on Airbnb.
Oh, okay.
And so you'll pay extra fees for Airbnb, but there's tickets on our website, so you can sign up for that. We do tickets because we would get overwhelmed, and so we limit it to 20 people, adults and children at a time, and it's 2 hours. We take you on pasture tours on the outside, so you visit 3 pastures, and then we go see the Highland cattle, and you get to feed everything from outside the pastures, and then when we get back, you can play in the pastures.
Oh.
And so you can go in and pet the animals and play. And if you go to our website, there's a farm gallery where guests post pictures when they've come to visit, and you'll get a good idea of what it's like.
Well, that's neat. I know that children like it, but I've seen adults at places where there's animals, and adults get into feeding the animals as well as the kids.
Absolutely. We have a lot of adults that come. Most of our tours have a majority of adults. So.
And a lot of adults, of course, me living around here, I'm used to the animals now.
Sure.
But when I grew up, I grew up in the city and wasn't around farm animals.
That's right.
And so a lot of people are like that. They're not used to it.
Right.
And this is one way of informing them, educating them.
Right. Or hadn't been around them at all. I actually have a house chicken.
A house chicken.
Never would have thought I'd have a house chicken. But I do have a house chicken. She's very popular on the farm as well. So.
Well, that's neat. We'll have to see that sometime.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty neat. Now, we already talked about the farm tours.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I noticed on your website that y'all are members of several associations.
Yes.
Why is that important?
When we started our farm, we were told 2 things. One was to buy the best stock that you can buy, and the second is get used to animals dying, right? So we have taken those to heart, and we buy the best stock that we can buy. So all of our animals are registered or belong to a particular registry, be that AKC for the dogs, the Nigerian dwarf goats, the sheep. And the reason that we do that is not because we're a puppy mill or that type of thing. It's because we know the lineage. So I know that when I breed a doe of my goats, I know what I'm going to get in temperament, size, quality, health. So that's really important. When we started the farm, I wanted to do miniature everything, hence the name Littletail Farms. The more research that I did, the more that I realized that the miniature, like cows, that's typically bad breeding. That's going to be breeding in the dwarfism chromosome. A lot of times it's starvation. And so we try to stay away from that. Now, a lot of our animals are small, but that's because that's the way their breed is, right? So, for example, we have alpacas. Llamas are about 150 pounds bigger, typically. So we have the alpacas because they're smaller. Same with our goats. We have Nigerian dwarf goats. Our sheep are baby doll sheep. Our pigs are the cooney pigs. They're smaller in stature naturally. And so we, decided that we would not do quote-unquote miniature.
Well, and some of those larger animals, when they take on their own personality, they can be a handful.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I learned a valuable lesson on my first bull. He came to the farm and I thought he was a pet. And I would bring cookies out to him every day and he would eat them out of my hand. And I would walk in the pasture with him. And then the first day I showed up without cookies was not a pleasant day for me. So I've learned a lot of lessons as I go, right? Yeah. And now there's usually a fence line between me and the bulls, right?
Yeah.
Because all of our cattle do have horns. And they will unknowingly hurt you or even knowingly hurt you under the right circumstances.
Yeah, you have to be careful.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Even with your own little pets, sometimes they take on a personality.
Yes.
And they get mad too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, you mentioned your website. Is that how most people can get in touch with you, through your website, or is there a number they can call?
So on our website, and then we have a phone number that calls directly to the farm, and you can reach us there as well. I don't have that number memorized, so I can't tell you what that number is. 455 something. But yeah, so it's on our website. But yeah, you can reach us that way. You can message us on Instagram or Facebook as well.
Well, now you mentioned the apartment and the one tiny house. Do you have plans to maybe adding more to that, or do you have the space?
I don't think so. We started at 10 acres and we have 50 acres now. And I don't think so. I think we're pretty happy with the amount of work that it is. My husband runs the farm 7 days a week and does the Airbnbs. I have a regular job, and so I just get to play. And he runs the farm, and he does all the work.
And you have a daughter too, right?
We do. Allison is a senior at Sequatchie. She came, I guess it was the middle of 7th grade. So she's getting ready to graduate this year. Wow. And she plays some sports at Sequatchie, and she's really enjoyed going to school here.
Well, good. It's a good school system.
It is. We've been very pleased with the school system. So.
And the fact that y'all weren't from here, you chose to come here, that's a little different, because we have a lot of people doing that now. That come in here and they like the area. They like it because it's rural.
Yeah.
You don't have to listen to all the traffic.
Yeah.
And everything, and you're just kind of more peaceful.
Yeah, there's not a keeping up with the Joneses. We have been welcomed into the community, and we've made quite a few friends. We've made a lot of friends recently that are not from the community originally, and they've been really nice people. We really enjoy Cagle Mountain. We probably don't come down the mountain quite as much as we do now. In the past, we didn't come down. Oh, I really got that messed up. But we started coming down and socializing really at the Sequatchie Brewery. And then our daughter works at the local depot.
Oh, okay.
So we come down the mountain for those things. And we just love Dunlap. It's a great little town.
Well, it is, and it's a growing town, and a lot of things going on. Not like it used to be 40 years ago when it just like the song "One Red Light in the Middle of Town"
Right.
by the Boyd Brothers, who were a local band.
Yeah.
And but things have changed, and it's going to continue to change.
Absolutely, it will.
And you mentioned the people coming in from out of state and out of town.
Yeah.
The ones I've met, all the ones I've met have been really nice people.
Absolutely.
They're trying to flee some other things that we won't get into.
Right. Well, and I was surprised that we made some friends from California that came here, and they have the same mindset as a lot of local people here, which I thought was really nice. Because you know, they have differing opinions sometimes, but they are invested in our community as well.
Well, we've got some of the local shops that people from California, you know, that have invested here, and so you know, Small Town Ceramics, they're from California.
Oh, okay.
And you know, good people, nice people.
Yeah.
You sit down and talk to them, and you know, some of these people just like most of us, they get tired of politics,
Right.
and they want to escape. And
Yeah.
and when you sit down and talk to them, you realize they're just like you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you said you have 50 acres now?
We do, yeah. So we started at 10, and then we bought some acreage next door that's connected to our property, and so we've got 50 acres now.
Well, that gives your animals a chance to roam more.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's better for them.
That's right. Yeah.
Because if they're just tied up into one little pasture, it keeps them.
Yes.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
They don't get much. It's like being in a dog pen.
Right.
If you don't have
right.
A big dog pen, they don't get out.
Yeah.
You know. Well, that's good. And what are some things about the farm that maybe? What are your hours of operations when people can come out to visit?
Well, they can reach out to us to come out to visit. We really our farm tours on Saturdays is try that one more time. Saturdays we offer a farm tour, and that's when people can come out and visit.
Okay.
They can reach out to come out to visit different times, because I'm kind of a softie when it comes to that. But just, it is a working farm, right? And I do have a regular job, so we're not open to the public 7 days a week. So Saturday mornings are our typical time for tours. We try not to do anything on Sundays and just make that family time.
Yeah, well, that's good, because y'all do need your time.
Right.
If people are not raised on a farm, they don't realize how much hard work that is.
It is a lot of work. The last time my husband went out of town, I was very grateful when he came home. He came home.
Well, and it's rain or shine,
Yes.
hot or cold. You've
That's
got
right.
to be out
Yes.
feeding the animals.
Yes,
and doing
and when he was gone, it was that ice storm that came through. Yeah, I was really glad when he came home.
I bet
It's
you
a
were.
lot of work. It is a lot of work.
And a lot of times people think, they see the bigger farms and they think, well, that's a daily job. But then a smaller farm like yours,
Yeah.
they think, well, that's just a small farm. But there's a lot of work to it. It's not just.
Yeah. Well, and part of that is the quantity of livestock that we have, or the different varieties of livestock. So it's not just cows.
Right.
Or just, goats. So it's, and I've had to figure out the medical issues as well, and how to care for each of those animals. So that has been an interesting challenge as well. One that I did not know that I would have to do.
Well, that would be an interesting way to look at it, because you think raising an animal, you just feed them and water them,
Right.
and check on them.
Yeah.
But then you don't think so much a lot of times about the medical issues.
Right. So we have a great couple of vets that are on call, but I do probably 90% of the veterinary care. If there's vaccinations or like rabies shots, that type of thing, or our puppy checkups where actually this is our last litter of puppies that we'll have on the farm. We have the vet come up and do a puppy well check and that type, because it's hard to move 9 or 10 Great Pyrenees puppies at one time. And so we've had 4 litters of puppies at the farm, and I never bred a dog, and it's been so much fun. But this is this is Lady's last litter, and so we're going to retire her. I don't know if we'll ever do puppies again, but it's been fun. We've really enjoyed it. And so we've bred just about all of our animals except for the alpacas. Their offspring are so fragile. It makes me nervous. And my girls are a little old to be having babies, so
Yeah.
yeah. But it's been fun.
Well, I imagine it would be, and seeing all those different animals every day, and I imagine that when the children come out, they love the smaller animals.
Oh yeah, and actually our barn cats are the most popular animals on our farms. Yes, our barn cats are super friendly. And so the kids, I think that's why, because the barn cats actually come up to you for attention and want to love on you. They're really looking for cookies. But yeah, so we have 4 barn cats that are very popular as well.
Well, they keep the mice away too.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Well, that I'm sure that, like I say, it keeps you pretty busy most of the day. I mean, it's not really like you have any downtime.
Right.
A lot of times.
Right.
And even at night when most people are asleep, you might have to get up and do things.
Oh yeah, for sure. So that's why we have livestock guardians. Our neighbor had a black bear sighting on their video camera.
Really?
Yeah. So we have livestock guardian dogs that protect most of our herds, and they keep out the coyotes and the fox and the black bear.
Yeah, because I know out there's been black bear sightings, and of course there's plenty of coyote everywhere.
Right.
And we even have them down at my house. And you hear it's funny. My dogs, when the coyotes scream, they get quiet. They,
Wrong.
They just get quiet. So,
Yeah.
I guess they don't want them to know they're there.
Right. Yeah. I have one Great Pyrenees in the house. She had a traumatic brain injury at 5 weeks old, so she's actually inside my house as an inside dog. It's a very large inside dog.
Yeah.
And she found her voice a couple of months ago.
Oh,
as
really?
far as barking outside, and she'll stand upstairs and just bark from the stairs in the middle of the night. So that's been fun.
Been a change, huh?
Right, yeah.
Well, is there anything we haven't talked about your farm that you'd like everybody to know?
No, I don't think so. I think that's it. I mean, we're always trying new things. This year, we're actually getting bees. So we're going to do a couple of honey hives, and we're planting a field of wildflowers.
Oh.
So we're going to do that, and we're always trying something new, and expanding what we're doing. And I have a garden. I started a garden last year and did some canning, and it's been a really neat adventure, and we're very blessed to be out there. And we love Cagle Mountain, and we love Dunlap, and we're just very blessed to be in the area.
Well, I'm sure you'll like it, and basically you're just homesteading.
Pretty much, yeah. I wouldn't have thought that before, but yeah, pretty much. So it's been an adventure for sure.
Well, that seems like fun. I'm going to have to get out there and check y'all out.
Yeah, absolutely.
I saw like I said, the pictures on the website are amazing.
Thank you.
And I love those. And but folks, you need to get out there and check them out there on Leilani. Leilani Lane out on Cagle Mountain, just off of
111.
Yeah, 111. So go out there and see the Little Tails Farm. They're a great place, and I'm sure you'll be happy. Make sure it's on a Saturday though, and get your tickets ahead of time. You can go to their website and find out. Until next time, we appreciate you, and you can see us on BTC Fiber's YouTube page as well as Cable Channel 18. And again, thank you for Needful Things General Store. We appreciate them very much. So until next time, have a great day. Hey everybody, this is Glenn Edison from Valley Views. We appreciate you watching our shows, and we would like for you to like, share, and follow us on Facebook, as well as like and subscribe to our YouTube page.